All right, it is 9:30 time for the Friday Night Hangout. This is where we grab a brew, shoot the breeze, and interact with you live on the internets as we let everybody know that we're on and people can jump in. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping and let everybody know how these Hangouts work. Basically, if you're watching live, you can scrub through like a PVR and get all caught up. If you want to watch the replay afterwards, the replay will start about 15-20 minutes afterwards. And, of course, we have the audio-only podcast version of this that will get published on the weekend, usually on Sunday, just in time for the Monday morning commute. So let's start off with a round of intros as we get all settled in here. Great panel tonight. Let's start off here with, from Dartmouth, we got Dan with us tonight. Good evening, Dan.
Hello! Just like Mr. Furley would say, these hands are lethal weapons.
I can't top that.
Had to dig deep for that one. From Wallace, Nova Scotia, we got Keith Elliott Stone.
Good evening.
And from Halifax, we got Krista, bitesizetravel.ca.
How you doing?
Doing good. Up in the valley, we got Lee, Hoogly Beer and Booze Reviews on the YouTube.
Hello.
And from Newfoundland, he made it to shore. We got Mustang or Bluefin on YouTube also. And I am here in Halifax also. And we got a number of people jumping in. Thanks, everybody, for jumping in tonight. We'll get going here momentarily. But first, let's start off with what we are drinking tonight. Let's start off from the rock. Mike, what are you drinking tonight, my friend?
I've got a Kensington Brewing Company Fisheye IPA.
Oh, what's the ABV on that one?
6.5.
All right, how is it?
That's nice, really nice.
All right.
Where's that from, Mike?
I picked it up in Ontario. Let's see.
Have you had that one, Lee, before?
No, I'm familiar with the name.
Okay.
Guelph.
Guelph, all right.
Well, all right.
All right, thanks, Mike. Lee, what are you drinking tonight, my friend?
I'm hitting the hard stuff tonight. Canadian Club 100% rye.
All right. Bad day at work, I take it.
Lee had the same kind of week I did, I guess.
No, actually, it was a very good week. I'm just not drinking beer for a while. So.
All right. Sounds good. Krista, what are you drinking, my dear?
I am drinking Boxing Rock's The Darkness, their Cascadian Dark Ale.
And did I see somewhere that somebody else is releasing a Cascadian Dark Ale, and I forget who it is?
I did not see that, but it's.
I saw that on the Atlantic Beer blog. They did their morning update. I forget who.
I'm really enjoying this, so I might try to find that other one too.
All right, Keith, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Tata Brewery's Oyster Cloister Stout.
All right, now, how is that?
It's okay. I don't find it overly strong taste to distinguish it as an oyster stout, but it's a good stout.
I believe that's a low ABV too. It's like 5 or 5.5%.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Standard stout kind of alcohol. But now, when I'm thinking of an oyster stout, I'm thinking a little bit of salt, a little bit of brine.
Yeah,
are you getting any of that?
No, not at all, really. It's like I said, it's a good stout, but if I had tasted it, I wouldn't have picked out that was an oyster stout.
Interesting.
Yeah, they don't seem to. They don't seem to really put too much of the sort of shellfish or seafood or whatever in any of these sort of beers so far, from what I've seen. I mean, the PEI Brewing Company's lobster ale from a little while back, you didn't taste any sort of salt or fishiness or anything like that, and it was just a straight-up saison or something like that. So,
interesting. All right, good stuff, Keith. Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, just like I did the last time I showed up, I'm going to make this another choose-your-own adventure. So I put this out to you, Fellowship of the Beer. This is actually what you guys are now, like the Lord of the Rings. I've got the Rare Bird craft beer, the Maple Ale, so that's 6.5%. Or do I do the Garrison Old Fog Burner at
Oh,
Garrison.
11.5?
Burner.
Fog burner.
Yeah, and
You
pour
old
the rare bird
Steve.
down the sink.
So be it. The
Alright.
fellowship have decided.
Old fog burner and hangouts go hand in hand. That's all I have to say.
Well, I was going to say, Dan did a very wise choice because I'm drinking. That's right, Fog Burner. 11.5% barley wine. It just came out, I think, last week. This is very apt that we're talking about Garrison Old Fog Burner. They have, I'll do a quick plug. They're doing an event, I think, next weekend. It's a vertical taste
Yes, I saw that.
of 6 or 7 years of Fog Burner. They've kept every year of the Fog Burner since 2008 or whatever. And for $25, you can sit, have a little bit of food, and taste each year, including one of the barrel-aged versions of it. So
For only $25, that's a steal.
it is definitely a steal.
Considering what a bottle costs, yeah.
And I forget how much the bottle. It's not the regular one is not that bad. I think it's $7. The barrel-aged one is obviously a little bit more expensive, but I was trying to get in. I was hoping because the event is on a Friday night. I'm thinking, Garrison, I could. We can be there. We can do the hangout at Garrison, and so the only provision you gotta be open until we're done, which is 10:30, 11 o'clock, and they're like, we expect to be in bed by 11 o'clock. So I think it's going to be one of those nights where it's going to be very hard hitting over at Garrison for their Fog Burner. So anyway,
Taxi chat.
yes. So it made logistics a little hard to be able to do that, but you never know. We may work something out next week. So you never know. I don't know. Who knows?
What
All
time
right.
do we close?
Well, this will be a private event. So. Yeah, this starts at 7. I assume that would go to like 9, 10 o'clock. They close up for the night kind of deal. But for us, for the hangouts, we're usually up until like 11 anyway. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for us to do that. But I think, Garrison, it'd be awesome to have a live stream of this tasting and stuff. We can do Cards Against Humanity after I've
Absolutely.
had, I don't know, 5 samples of this Fog Burner. Oh,
What is it, 11.5?
11.5%.
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing can go wrong. Everything will go right, in my mind.
You won't feel your face in half an hour.
Hey,
What do you mean a half hour? Ugh.
All right, big thanks to everybody tuning us in here. We have a whole bunch of people watching, so let's start the hangout with our first topic here. You can follow along. You can follow along on votingchoice.com, on Google+, on YouTube. We're going to have the usual people monitor the usual things. Hint, hint. So hopefully people know what they're doing. You can interact with us live via Twitter, Friday Night Hangout hashtag, or you can comment again on YouTube or Google Plus or on the Avoiding Chores show page. Let's start off with the first topic here, which is our own Breaking Bad, Mr. White, Christopher Phillips, and his chemicals, his osmium tetroxide.
What is he doing with all that stuff? Because when I first heard this, my initial thought was, yeah, this is definitely a meth lab. But then as more came out about what the chemicals actually were, I'm like, well, I don't know what that is. So I tapped out. My grade 12 chemistry knowledge failed me.
And we had a press release or a news conference in the afternoon. They were saying that there was 2 residences, the cottage. That's a chemicals from floor to ceiling, in the oven, in the fridge. Yeah, unlabeled. Nobody knows what's in there.
But you only
Crazy.
stockpile stuff like that when you've got a crazy plan. I just don't know what you would do for a crazy plan with that kind of stuff.
Well, he bought that house, that cottage, specifically to store chemicals in. He spent $50,000 on a cottage for the sole purpose of stacking it, floor to ceiling, full of chemicals.
Well, as a lifelong Nova Scotian, I would consider that a waste of a perfectly good cottage.
Maybe it came with the cottage. Maybe there was like an rider in it.
Now it's gonna be of course, there's a lot of interesting things about the story. That the fact that one of his ex-wives was a U.S. Olympian gymnast, which I tend to remember watching when I was Google searching her name. Like, I remember her doing her vault. Yes, I remember her from 1996, Atlanta Games. But there's this guy has a house or a cottage full of chemicals. And he's like, I'm just going to threaten a police officer in wherever he was at in Cole Harbor. I'm just going to drive 18 hours to Ottawa with some of these chemicals. And, at Chimo, which is...
Yeah.
I never stayed in Chimo, but I know where it is in Ottawa. But it's like,
this guy obviously wasn't a criminal mastermind of any sort.
Yeah. And his wife kind of ratted him out, kind of deal. So he's obviously a special character.
I feel like if he makes it through a mental health fitness assessment, this is going to have lots of really weird layers.
Oh, it's going to be.
Well, you can still be perfectly sane and be a jackass.
Yeah, that's true.
An evil jackass.
Just ask my coworkers. They'll know.
That's hashtag Friday Night Hangout if you want to tell us. If you work with Jim and you want to tell us what kind of evil person.
Right.
Has it been discovered where he sourced the chemicals from?
Well, isn't he like a biochem professor or whatever?
Yeah, but still, to be able to get that quantity, I mean, it's not like he can go to Shoppers and get all of that.
No, he was probably stealing.
He was working as the manager of the snore shop. He wasn't working in the industry. So he's got all these kind of shady-sounding credentials on like his LinkedIn account or whatever. But
I would like to see what his Amazon Prime account was like. Crazy.
It could, it'd be interesting because the chemical that they talk about, the osmium tetroxide, this thing that goes from liquid to gas and is more denser than whatever. You can't get your hands on that stuff. It's like you can't just go to Amazon or eBay and order 10 liters of it. Like it's it's restricted stuff. Something tells me that there's this whole thing of underground shipments coming from the States or somewhere like that, and he was importing them in. There's some loophole. There's going to be some big loophole that he's able to load up into his cottage all these vats of chemicals and
there's no doubt a black market for that, just like there's a black market for guns or whatever else you want, right? So.
Well, I mean, I will say though, when you do these things, and again, my experience is in rural Nova Scotia. Like Grand Desert is like a lot of small communities in Nova Scotia, so there would be people that have lived there a really long time and would know them as the people that came in and bought so and so's cottage, because this was a cottage that had been owned by another family for years, and I would find it hard to believe that he'd be able to move a large volume of things out there in and out without catching anybody's notice. So he must have been doing it like a package at a time, or...
Yeah, he sure takes a lot of vacations out to his cottage there.
Yeah, geez. Fixing it up real nice.
Carload here, carload there. Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy. Let's do a quick check of comments here. Again, people, if you're watching, you can interact with us via Twitter, Friday Night Hangout, hashtag, votingchores.com, the show page. We've got comments at the bottom, youtube.com. Let's start with the Twitter and give the chance for the guys there to reload their pages. So
Sure.
we got on what do we have on the Twitter? We got some stuff on the Twitter.
Well, we have Free Bahali checking in to ask about Lee's floating head theme, but I think he just is lacking backlight tonight.
Yes, backlight.
No, I'm actually hidden a jar.
You're just a head, just a floating head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will say though, I think it would look incredibly cool if we could all manage a night of floating heads, and we were just all disembodied heads floating around.
Well, I'm working on making my head float right here. But...
Yeah. That's a spirit. And we have Jello2775 who is lurking on Twitter, watching us online. Hello.
All right.
At Todd NS says, that guy was definitely up to no good. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. All right, who's got the avoiding chores comment page?
I do.
All right, is there anything there?
Hugh Williams says, I don't avoid chores, I just don't do them.
Smart.
Actually, that's the guy I work with, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, does he? He sounds like me. Does he live alone? Because that's what I do. I don't avoid them. I just ignore
Just
them.
don't do them. Yeah.
Do not acknowledge them.
If you have enough dust, it becomes a part of the charm of the room.
Ooh.
That could yield very important evidence if I'm ever murdered in my home one of these days. So, all right.
What a happy thought.
And,
Well, I keep on finding these footprints on my patio. People are coming up and using my patio for whatever in the middle of the night. And so,
what?
oh, that's a whole other story. Yeah, North End Halifax.
You should set up large mouse traps on just to see what happens.
I like
Maybe
how
your house is the weed house and you don't even know it yet.
my house. I think my patio is the something patio. That's for sure.
All right, who has the YouTube comments?
I've got that here if you want.
Right.
We've got from Albino Rhino.
Yes.
Just to start you off on the right foot, you guys suck.
At least we got pigment there, Chad.
Which I came back saying, we are the Dyson of podcasters. So take that.
And Albino was supposed to jump in tonight there. I don't know if he's having trouble. Carrie's having trouble jumping in here. So, low technical issues tonight for a few of the people. So. Any other comments there?
No,
or?
that's it for what we got right now. And of course,
right.
Terry saying, I can't get in. He's stuck in the box.
Yeah. It's funny. When I first opened up the Hangout for everybody to jump in on the pre-show to get all set up here, Kerry was the first one in. He was on his phone. He was walking to the NSLC. He was like, do you see this? Yeah, I can see you're walking towards the NSLC. All right, I'll be home in 10 minutes. All right. We'll get you. He's not in here.
He's Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
We did not rule out that he is still at the NSLC.
He could be still at the NSLC.
He's drinking in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah, maybe when he says I can't get in, he's like he can't get into the NSLC. Can't get in!
Well, I hope he has a reflective blanket. It's very cold and
ran off the road and is in the Atlantic Ocean. He's up there in Victoria. Up there. Hey, they got a lot more snow than us yesterday. We were talking about weather and stuff.
I bet they could actually deal with it though.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about people dealing with stuff here. The Maine to Yarmouth ferry. Oh, there was a lot of shenanigans over the weekend. I don't know if everybody caught that. But basically, the government, the Liberal government in Nova Scotia, they came out with this audited, redacted report audit to make sure that the 25, who's counting these days? $25 million given to this ferry was properly accounted for. And yes, everything but $80,000 was accounted for. But they kind of blacked out certain line items and stuff. Well, because it's a private company, stuff's need private. Well, whoever was doing these confidential blacked out documents, somebody in Bangor Daily News, if you just select all, copy and paste from the PDF into like Notepad, it would remove the black bars. And
Really? Was it that simple?
Yeah, it was like that, and I guess that happened a few other times too in the past. So
Masterminds.
don't highlight. This is how. Okay, pro tip: you take a piece of paper, you take a Sharpie, you cross out the lines, and you scan that page as an image. That's how you do it, people.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
So anyway, now after that, and Sunday, press release on Sunday, Chris is telling me, hey, check Twitter. Why? What's going on? So they had to own up because the details were in the Bangor Daily News. The government gave, on December 23rd, $2.5 million additional funding for the ferry. What makes this more interesting is that the minister, Michel Sanson, was being asked about the audit, and some people were asking him, or reporters, or NDP hacks, or whatever, is that all the money you've given them so far? And he said, yes, that's all the money. That's all the money. Wasn't saying that a month ago they gave $2.5 million. So now people are on him. He lied, you know. And then he did this press conference from a PGA merchandise show in Florida, where there's no economic development for Nova Scotia happening. To
Was he
say
wearing
that,
like a top hat and a monocle during this? Because this seems very like.
so
Yes, indubitably.
you know, was waiting for this for a future announcement.
Yes.
He only announced it because it was 30 days, and by law in Nova Scotia, you got to they have to disclose monies and stuff like that. So, you know, this ferry. Why don't they just say about this ferry? You know what? It was a mistake to shut it down, but you know what, kids? It costs money to run this thing, so we're gonna have to pay $30 million a year to run this ferry if you want the South Shore to be still running economically.
That's the thing. The ferries cost money. Look at the Digby ferry. They just bought a new one and threw a bunch of money at it. I mean, it's over. I think they've spent over $100 million in the last year between the federal and the provincial governments, something like that, on the two ferries.
Mm.
Actually, the sad thing about this is that I'm sure there's going to be some sort of junior member of his cabinet that's going to take the fall for this, for some top-level stupidity.
I don't know. They like to get. Oh.
Oh.
No, I was responding to a comment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you ejected him, Jim, then you can't invite him back in.
Yeah. Well, Kerry said here, kick me out of the hangout when he was checking in, and I'm like, oh, okay. Didn't think. Sorry, Kerry. You're gonna have to watch from the sidelines tonight. Sorry,
Kerry. Go back to the NSLC. Get something harsh.
That's what you get.
Carrie, let it all out in the comments, Carrie.
That's what you get, Kerry.
Jim. Oh my God! Let me tell you about him. That orange hat of his covers some dark, dark secrets.
Hashtag dirty laundry Friday night hangout.
After dark. So, Jim, tell us more about this $2.5 million that's been redacted. Jim, you seem to know a lot about that, Jim.
Well, it's $2.5 million plus change.
Yes, change. Tell us about this change, Jim.
I'll tell you. Anyway. Needless to say, there's going to be a lot more money given to this ferry. What my point is, why can't they just say, this is going to cost a crap load of money for the next 5 years. Nothing we can do about it, but this is what's going to happen. If you want people from Maine coming up to Yarmouth, this is how much it's going to cost. That's just me. I don't know.
I assume there's. I mean, I haven't researched the topic well enough. I mean, I've been living in the area very long, but is there like enough monetary input coming in from the U.S. coast to actually compensate for the losses that we spend on the ferry? I don't know.
Well, I mean, wasn't the U.S. supposed to throw money at this ferry, and they've thrown nothing? I mean, the newspaper puts out all these numbers, but they put out the numbers that the main government's contributed to the ferry be a big fat zero.
Yeah, I think they pretty much saw the writing was on the wall. They looked at it as like, oh, these bunch of podunk rural people from Nova Scotia, we're just going to take all their money and then say goodbye.
I think we need Stephen King as a suitor. I think as well.
Yeah. Well, we definitely mentioned in plenty of hangouts before where, we were reporting all the stuff that every economic benefit of the ferry was because the fact it was sitting in Portland and stuff. But hey, we don't have to go too much into that.
We've talked about this ferry a lot. I bet you it would take up an entire hangout.
I should do a
super for this.
I should do a supercut. Yeah, I should do a supercut.
Over the last 2 years, it's been
ferry.
a lot.
Yeah, we should do that. Oh, damn it! I will do that. A couple more fog burners.
I think what Keith is asking for is a road trip, a team road trip.
By the way, Jim, this fog burner is really good. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Last time
I drank a
Fog
fog
Burner?
burner during a hangout.
I-
I seriously couldn't feel my upper lip. I'm not.
I
even
haven't
making
had anything to eat since 11 o'clock, and this is awesome.
that up. Beer. It's what's for
What?
dinner.
All right, let's do a quick. We're going to give it a chance for everybody to reload the pages. We're going to give a quick little shout out to a couple of people here who support voting chores. There, the Ladies Beer League. You can buy memberships all online off of their website here, ladiesbeerleague.ca, and I believe they brewed something with Boxing Rock this week.
They are surveying. So if you go on the Ladies Beer League Facebook page right now, they are conducting a survey of their members and other beer enthusiasts who may want to participate, inquiring what sort of beer they should brew next with Boxing Rock. Last year they did a delightful cranberry wheat ale called the Alewife's Revenge, and I am very excited to see what they do this year.
They gotta do something that has 11.5% in it, is what they need to do.
No, we are mother bleeping ladies. We don't drink that.
Yes!
If we want to remain ladies.
Yes, of course!
We're ladies.
Ladies.
And just to mention also, Garrison, since we're talking about the fog burner, Garrison, they got their fog burner vertical tasting event, January 30th, $25 per ticket. There's only less than 10 tickets left to get, so if you want yours, get yours now. You'll be able to sample 6 years of fog burner. They're going to open up their cellar, and they're going to have to give some of them to you so you can taste test. And I believe that will include one of the barrel aged in a Glenora barrel.
And you should definitely
They call it vertical.
turn off.
Yeah,
But you'll be horizontal when you're done
Oh.
tasting.
Turn
Totally.
off the internet on your phone because nothing good will come of that.
Yeah, nothing. No tweets or Facebook posts is going to be good.
No looking up X's on Facebook.
Nope.
No calling old friends.
Dick pics, hello, the patron saint of this podcast.
Yeah.
Nobody said, yeah. All right, let's check voting chores comments there. See if we got anything so far.
Trudy E1 says, "Ladies drink big beers, Krista."
I'm sorry, Trudy. Ladies drink big beers, just not a whole bunch of them all at once.
I sense a schism
They
in
do
the
if
Ladies
they're-
Beer League.
Well, yeah, no, we're having.
It's gonna split up.
All right, a little discussion offline there.
Ladies Beer League.
We're having
League, White and Black. Ladies Beer
we-
League Wolfpack.
Well, no, not really. Ladies will definitely drink all of that beer at all that fog burner, and they will remain dignified while doing so.
Any other comments, Lee?
No.
That was it. All right. On the YouTube.
B. So yeah, we got one from Wingman115. Hello. Just wanted to do a quick hit and run and say hello to the group.
All right, Wingman.
Hello.
He is in
Wingman.
Las Vegas right now. He's at the SHOT Show, which is the big gun, knife hunting kind of show in Las Vegas right now. He's been posting a whole bunch of stuff, and I think he spent like 3 or 4 days down there. So a show that personally I like to attend, but it's at the same time as the outdoor retailer show in Colorado. So I would like to set up a fund to send my ass down there next year.
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Well,
Also-
now the hipsters, they use Patreon now. So
Yeah, but you're no hipster.
no,
You're a happening-ster.
Sorry, you're really not a hipster. Sorry, Jim.
no, not a hipster. No.
So also
Any
we got,
other comments, Dan?
yeah, we got some from Arthur Donald. Lee's floating head look. Lee's floating head look reminds me of Holly on Red Dwarf. Awesome Red Dwarf comment.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you,
a deep
Rich.
cut.
Red Dwarf, wicked. Also, I think a strong case can be made that the mistake was to start it up again. Just saying. I assume he's talking about the ferry and not beer. Slow River says Jim and Keith hit the nail on the head. Things cost money. They should do exactly what Jim said. If you want the ferry, we have to scroll pay. Sorry. And finally, Joanne E. Marchand says, "Hey, Dan, what was that beer? Fog something? Why, that would be Old Fog Burner
Make sure you show her the 11%.
11.5%. The 0.5% means quality.
That means you can have no plans early the next day.
That's right. You stay
Wow.
home for the night.
And I'm just saying this. I was actually being serious when I said I haven't had anything since like 11 o'clock. So, yeah.
Well, let's see where that
Kick
goes.
in.
What could go wrong?
I tell you, you know what? I'm almost. This is the last little bit. Oh, to show you, I got me my special fog burner glass, son.
Oh, fancy.
You know what I'm saying?
I've got one from an upper Canada
I'm
glass.
serious. I am serious about my fog burner, and especially if they ever come out with a barrel age, which I don't think they're going to do this year. I'm still waiting for the barrel aged spruce beer, which is apparently next week.
How many fog burners do you have in backup?
It's funny. I only got picked up 2 tonight, and I let's just say this is the second one.
Yeah, I've got one more in the fridge ready to go.
I started early.
Sorry, Lee, that's
I
my
started
backup.
really early tonight. Yeah, I started really early tonight. So.
Is the spruce beer supposed to be aged in rum barrels? Is that what the label, I think it said? They advertised.
Was it Jim Beam barrels? I think he said.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was rum.
I think
I thought it was rum barrels.
Full 12 months. The reason why it hasn't been out yet, I believe, you check their Instagram or Twitter, they made a little mistake on the labels. They had to reprint the labels.
Oh, so that's why it said rum barrels on the labels, but the labels were wrong.
Yes. Well, there was some. I think there was another typo issue, whatever. So they.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you know what? The longer it stays and ages, I think it's just as good. Let's do a quick check on Twitter. Krista, what do you got on Twitter?
Michelle McCann commented and agreed with me, thanks Michelle, that a perk of living alone is ignoring chores. Hashtag Friday Night Hangout. If you have anything to contribute, please comment on Twitter, hashtag Friday Night Hangout. We'll find you, as well as the other people that eventually trickle onto other hangouts on Friday night. We'll take them. It's a big tent over here at Avoiding Chores.
I see, yeah, I know, and I see here Angry Newspaper says that she says, I miss Lori on the Friday Night Hangout. Lori has other engagements tonight. She might
Lori,
jump in later.
her first love is the theater right now, and she is in the theater tonight.
Do you always say it that way, the theater?
The theater?
Theater.
Yes, that's how people know I'm fancy.
It's very fine.
Do you also pronounce butter that way? Pass the butter.
That's the butter.
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 Yeah, we're all fancy and.
Hey, you know when that
I changed
show
to the stretchy
comes
pants
on-
to less stretchy pants for you guys tonight, so there's your victory.
I went to all you can see.
I woke up for the Friday Night Hangout.
I did too.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic here, which is a Colorado baker faces complaint for refusing anti-gay message on cake. And this is a story that Dan suggested here in the group. Dan, you have the background on this?
Yeah, so as you know, there's the debate that's been going on concerning the fact that they're trying to ban any sort of discrimination that involves gay marriage. So a lot of churches or establishments that try to ban services that are forwarded towards gays or gay marriages, they're making that illegal, which is the right thing to do. Now, some people are on that side of the fence are trying to take advantage of the situation, saying, "Hey, if I wish to use, services that employ my point of view that gays are wrong, I should not be discriminated against that," which is the case of this baker.
Yeah.
I call horseshit.
Yeah. Get the bleep button ready. Wait, it's after 10.
Wait, what time is it?
Never mind.
10:04. Horseshit. I can't believe I understand that you want to try and dig deep to make your argument, but this is not the way to do it. Just come out and just come out and say, I am homophobic, and I wish to explain that I'm homophobic.
Yeah, I mean, I think if somebody says, Patton Oswalt made a very elegant argument to this.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
It's one thing to be kind of like creeped out about what people do with each other if it's different than what you do with whoever you have sex with. But it's quite another thing to shroud it in all this religious language and all this other, all these other reasons why this is awful. You know what? Get over it. No one cares about your creepy, outdated hang-ups. It's 2015. The war against gay marriage is over in the vast majority of the United States, and almost every day another state is falling. It's going to the U.S. Supreme Court, and when it goes there, it will fall. And gay marriage will be the law of the land in the U.S., and all of you crazy people that are creeped out about it, or whatever your problems are with it, are just going to have to eat a plate of stacked up unpleasant things that you're not going to enjoy, and just deal with it.
But what if I have a need of a cake that says gays is wrong?
Then
what about my
own
needs?
cake.
Exactly.
You can go get a Betty Crocker kit and a Wilton cake decorating kit at friggin' Michael's or Hobby Lobby or one of those
making
other,
cakes are for gays.
Well, you know what? You made that bed, buddy.
Exactly.
The tide of history is against people like this. I'm a little confused though. Is it the baker himself that was anti-gay, or is he getting?
No.
He put an anti-gay message on the cake.
Okay. So
I do custom work. I engrave stones. I'll put just about anything you want in a stone. If it's offensive, hey, I'll put it on. But if it's hateful, I will not. You know what I mean? If you want to be a little irreverent, I'm okay with that. But there's a line. I mean, it's not only is it a morality thing, but you do something like that, you're treading on a hate crime issue, depending on where you live. So as a business owner, they're being responsible.
Yeah.
You stay away from that sort of thing. There's a difference. If you want to put "fuck you" on a cake for somebody, hey, whatever. But like I said, that's just hateful.
Like an awesome
that's not
cake.
offensive.
Yeah. The irony of this is that you see businesses like Chick-fil-A and stuff saying we should be able to refuse gay customers and things like that, right? And now you see the other side getting all bent out of shape when someone refuses to put an anti-gay message on their cake.
Well, you know what it is too with Chick-fil-A. They're a big company, and the way the world works is big companies can get away with a lot more than the little guy. The little guy's always the first one to get crapped on, basically.
But you know what? That will change eventually. History, I think it was Lee that said that. The history is against this. You are not going to win this battle. There was a very brief period of time during the George W. Bush presidential era in the United States where almost every state in the union had an anti-gay marriage amendment or some sort of legislation or changes to their state constitutions, and those are all now being challenged in federal courts and appeal courts, and it's going to the Supreme Court. And when the Supreme Court defeats it, and there's really good reason to believe they will, this will be settled, and the National Organization of the Family and all these crackpots who have made careers out of public hatred of people who they have no reason to hate otherwise. They're all perfectly decent people who just want to have families and basic legal rights. Those guys can just go deal with it. And
I mean, I totally agree with it, but I guess it really rubs me wrong is they're trying to force a business owner to do something that they're not comfortable with.
And it's gone.
That
Okay,
really
before we
pisses me
said
off, to be honest with you.
I understand
go
that.
away and don't come back.
But in the reverse, we are making business owners that don't agree with sort of gays in an uncomfortable position. However, they're in an unethical position and an illegal position. Where for the vice versa, she's totally in the right. That baker
But when you run a business, you have to kind of put any religious beliefs or political beliefs aside, because if you're going to die on that hill, you're not going to be in business for very long. I'll tell you that.
Well, you know what? I think you have to moderate them with the economic realities of running a business. And if you want to run a business and only cater to certain segments of the population, then you have to deal with the consequences of that. And the consequences of that might be you don't run a business anymore because you may not want to serve a specific part of the population, but if they have lots of other supporters in the general community, guess what? They're not going to support your business either.
I can't wait till we get our first Muhammad cake.
You'll have
I want a Muhammad cake. Where's our Muhammad cakes?
You'll have a hit squad after you.
Sorry, is that for a different podcast? I don't know. Wait, Jim, are you going to get assassinated now that I said that?
No, I'm pretty good. I'm wearing camel. Carrie is jumping in here. Finally found a way around the block.
Oh.
EJ.
Hey, Carrie, did you finally find the NSLC?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I did.
No.
Oh, it was muted. There you go.
It's up here.
He's
okay.
he's so full of anger right now. Like, oh, fucking Jim. Oh, that Jim.
All right, let's do a quick check on comments. Give everybody a chance to refresh their pages. Just a reminder, Friday Night Hangouts. We do this every Friday. Grab a brew, shoot the breeze. Great panel tonight. Great discussion. Great comments from anybody who's commenting them on Twitter, YouTube, Google+, votingchores.com. We've got people all the way from Las Vegas commenting, watching the show. We got Mike. We got Mike from Newfoundland. He's like, I'm just happy to be on firm ground.
That's true.
This is awesome. You know?
I commented on YouTube. I mean, holy shit. Cats and dogs living together.
There's a
Everything.
million things to do in Vegas, and people watch our hangout. That's pretty damn amazing.
Hey,
It's also like you're in Vegas and you got nothing better to do.
well, he's all done.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. I'm in the minority of people who have no interest in going to Vegas whatsoever.
Yeah.
I am also in that minority, actually.
No, I think I would go to Vegas to go to the SHOT Show and a couple other shows that happen.
That sounds like far too many weapons in a room for my...
Yes, lots of weapons.
Actually, maybe it's a cover. Maybe he actually just really wants to see Celine Dion. He just doesn't
That
want
might
to
be
do
it.
No, she doesn't.
Elton John's
but
playing
she
this
doesn't.
weekend. I know someone who's going to
No,
see
she
it.
doesn't do that anymore.
She
She
doesn't?
doesn't do. No, she's done.
Oh.
Is she busy raising her family with her creepy husband?
I think he's actually quite sick. But don't worry, because Britney Spears is there with a spectacular.
Yeah.
And I think Shania Twain is still there, and there's like, I don't know,
there was somebody else.
shows. And
Yeah, there was somebody else. There was another singer that got. I don't. Was it
Carey.
Paula? Was it who?
Mariah Carey's daughter.
oh yeah,
Mariah Carey,
you can watch
yes.
Coral Morena
Actually,
be dragged around the
I
stage.
would see Mariah Carey. She is an entertainer.
No,
Dude is not in a good place right now. Wait
No.
a couple of years to go see Mariah Carey.
No, but Celine's husband, manager, I believe throat cancer is what he has right now.
Yeah,
so-
I think he's in a
shit.
pretty bad way, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not good. Anyway, let's check on comments. Let's do the YouTube.
Nothing new there. Just left off asking with the beer, and I'll say it again. The beer is Old Fog Burner, 11.5%.
The beer is-
Awesome.
And it goes great with sushi.
And on votingchores.com, Lee, what do we have for comments?
Trudy says she's drinking a small beer now. Phillips Bottle Rocket ISA, which I assume is India Session Ale. So Session IPA, I assume.
Interesting. Whatever happened to Saturday night in the backyard podcast? That was actually entertaining. Trudy, what's going on with that?
Well, it's winter, I would guess. Even in Vancouver.
Yeah, but in Vancouver, they can wear jackets. They have.
Oh,
They're leaving us hanging over here. Leaving us hanging, Trudy.
They might still be wearing flip-flops for all we know in Vancouver.
Can't believe it. Krista on Twitter, what do we got?
Twitter's been very quiet, but Michelle's comment about ignoring chores when one lives alone has been very popular. So lots of like-minded ignoring chores for the solo livers out there on the internet tonight.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's do the last topic, and then we get to the fun stuff, which is the Cards Against Humanity bit, which is always a crowd favorite. Let's talk about...
We got two topics, I thought.
We have two topics left.
Whoa, what we got here?
You forgot the really important one.
I'm sorry. New York man demolishes home without telling wife. I heard about this. This is a brilliant story.
This guy has to have mental issues because he got an excavator and he knocked down the house without a permit, which is one thing. Didn't bother to disconnect
without doing any of the disconnects. Yeah.
He didn't disconnect the electricity or the gas, which really wow. And he left everything inside of it. He said, "Oh well, the foundation was bad." Well, there's something else bad. I think that's nothing to do with the foundation.
There's a foundation that's bad, but I don't think it's in the house.
Yeah.
And he just left everything in the house.
Yeah, he just loaded everything into some demolition container,
Yeah.
dumpsters, and wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
it was
There's issues going on there that
too
need
much
to be addressed.
hassle doing the
Stephanie.
renovations. So
This guy just wanted to do over. That's all.
He's been watching too many of these goddamn home renovation shows. The first thing they do in these home renovation shows is they run in with a sledgehammer and start whacking the shit out of everything. It drives me insane. Do you know how many times I've actually seen that happen? Not too damn many.
Trading Spaces was awesome.
They used to do that, but they used to do that a fair amount too. They'd say, "Take down this wall."
Trading Spaces. What was the name of the host?
Page something.
Yeah.
Page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But do you feel like in this case in New York, and this is in upstate New York somewhere, that that something may have escalated very quickly, and then he went, you know what? I'm going to get an excavator, and I'm going to settle this shit like today.
If he had got an escalator, that would have been really cool, actually.
That would have been very cool.
I hope he realizes he could have just cleared his browser cache. He didn't have to destroy his house. It's seriously, just clear your history, man. You don't have to blow up the house. It's
Solves a lot of
okay.
problems.
Yeah.
Could have took the excavator to the computer and not to the house.
Exactly.
He just left that.
Knock it out.
Yeah. That's like, what is the metaphor? Using a hammer to kill a fly?
Yeah.
Let's
Or using an excavator to,
using an escalator.
I mean, if he wanted to spend a lot of money, he could have moved the house onto a new foundation.
I feel like the
Yeah,
foundation is a bit of a red herring.
But do you see his photo that he had posted there? He's a sad man. He's got deep, deep issues.
Maybe he had chemicals in his basement.
He's seen some shit.
He was watching Breaking Bad too many times.
Breaking Bad and Trading Spaces, and it really fucked him up.
Hey,
You went, this looks like a great idea. What could possibly go wrong?
Hey, let's do a quick round of what we're drinking tonight, since we haven't done this in a while. I am drinking a Fog Burner, 11.5% barley wine. Ooh, delicious.
That looks good.
Oh, it is good.
It's got a gun on it.
Cannon. It has a cannon.
Mine's got a gun on it too.
It
It's
has a
awesome.
cannon.
I'd like to have some fog burner for work.
Mike, what are you drinking?
I've got the homebrew tonight. I had the fisheye IPM and my pumpkin homebrew tonight.
Oh, I like that glass.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, show that glass again there for
It's like
everybody. I love Quiddy
Newfoundland
Quiddy.
kitty bitty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I like that.
Now, Mike, you've been doing a lot of this pumpkin ale. You must really like this recipe because you've been drinking that for a while. Or
I've had it on tap now for a year.
wow.
Well, I'm noticing the wall behind you is very pumpkin-esque in color, so maybe you just have a thing for orange.
Lee, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Canadian Club Chairman Select, 100% rye.
How much of the bottle's still there?
There is.
And how much was there when you first started?
Yeah, we didn't draw a line where it was when he started.
Yeah.
Yeah, where was the line when you
It was
first
right
started?
under the label when it started.
Okay.
Oh, that's all right. That's very
All
respectful.
right. Being responsible. Krista, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm finishing up my Cascadian Dark Ale, The Darkness, by my friends down in Shelburne, Boxing Rock. And soon I will open a Hell Bay Cream Ale.
Yes.
Yeah, nice choice.
Very good.
I like that.
All right, Carrie, what are you drinking tonight?
Now that you're finally home and out of the ditch.
I've got a pitcher of water. It's the best.
Jim's getting glitter in the mail from Carrie, by the way.
He's going to have to watch the podcast, catch up.
Carrie, what are you drinking? No, don't show us you drinking. What are you
He
drinking?
does seem to like it, whatever it
He
is.
is angry.
Angry drinker.
I am bitter and depressed that I'm not drinking anything. Oh, nah, I got.
Oh, yeah.
You had a sip. Was it one of the bottles that's too sweet? Is that why you're...
No, I was just making faces. The Propeller Double IPA.
All right, good choice. Good choice. Keith, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking the Tatamagouche Oyster Cloister Stout, and I must admit that after drinking it for a while, it does get... there is a slight... you can start to kind of smell the ocean and... you just get that faint taste.
It gets oystery.
No, Keith, you live.
Ah.
Keith, you live on the shore. You must have a window open.
That's right. Maybe I should just close the window, Jim.
Just close the window.
Close it. Even though the river's frozen.
Yeah.
I've never thought once in my life, like, you know what's missing from this beer? More oyster.
Well, if it's done right, it's excellent.
Yeah.
This is it's not bad.
Dan, what are you drinking today?
And another
And another thing.
Fog burn.
What is the deal with the fog? I don't see any fog. What the? No, it's actually quite good. I really am enjoying it. Thank goodness I have 2 bottles, so one's for later on.
Look
at that, man.
See you Tuesday.
Yeah.
And if you're joining us on Twitter, tell us what you're drinking on hashtag Friday Night Hangout.
And I'm going to sleep now, guys. So you keep going. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I was gonna take a nap over here in the corner.
Dude,
You guys are awesome.
Krista, you been monitoring the Twitter?
I have. It's pretty quiet now, but I'm waiting for people to tell us what they're drinking.
All right.
Or to tell us how they feel about the glitter. Send your enemies glitter selling for 85,000, and if we could have undercut that.
All right, so we're going to do one more story, and then we'll do one last check, and then we're going to do Cards Against Humanity. This is the new favorite bit here, so I think this is going to be pretty good. So for this next bit, we're going to talk about the Miss Universe pageant and Miss Universe Canada.
Lay it on us.
I mean,
all I have to say, Jim, is 2 minutes for high sticking. Woo!
All I have to say is, where's the 5-hole?
God. Too soon.
11.5%.
I don't even know what that means. Is that a hockey thing? I don't know. Go sports. I will say,
Yay, sports!
She looks fucking fantastic. And
she looks great.
She is representing her country nicely. I will say, though, the only thing, if there's a downside, is that you can tell that her boobs look like slightly fake. But the rest of it, like the
what are you trying to say?
Sticks, well, it's distracting. The hockey sticks are like they spread out behind her like a peacock's feather.
She looks like the Indian guy with all the arms.
I was gonna say Game of Thrones, but sure.
Well, somebody on Twitter mentioned she looks like Hexadecimal from the reboot cartoon.
Oh
series.
yeah. By the way, my vote is for Miss Argentina.
Yes, let's scroll down because people think, oh my God, Miss Canada, she's so embarrassing.
So Miss Canada, good on you, girl, for representing your country and not skanking it up like you could have, because everyone knows this is a Donald Trump joint.
Yeah, so not like Miss Argentina.
And by the way, Miss Dominican Republic, what a killjoy! You don't do that.
Jesus, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
What?
So,
her dress is beautiful.
So Miss Argentina.
But still, really? You don't need that. And you're like, oh, this show's awesome. Oh God, Mary's watching me.
Yeah, I totally get that. I am not the target demographic for this company.
What Dan is trying to say is that it's a boner killer.
Exactly.
The Virgin Mary is a boner killer. Yeah, I get that.
So who is this here? Miss Venezuela? What is this? Burning Bush? What is this?
She's ready to go hunting, Jim.
I feel like this is like a seven-lady
She's going to sneak up on
advertisement.
woodland animals with a bow.
I don't
but given the amount that you guys are talking about this, and I think that they're intentionally appealing costumes, but I feel like this is like a 7-woman advertisement for going on vacation in Latin
Except sure. Miss Ireland, she looks a little steampunk.
Now this is Miss USA here.
Ugh, whatever.
Yeah,
What is it?
Whatever.
It's like a eagle yearning to be free, and like I don't know, postal carriers going out in snowstorms, and there's a whole lot going on.
It's a very big, it's a big thing, but
yeah, it looks like about I don't know, 10 feet wide, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
doesn't look that great.
Yeah, it just didn't come together.
Oh,
here in Miss Ireland.
These are just horrible Mardi Gras costumes.
Exactly. Where's the bead?
Who's this one here?
Over the top,
Nicaragua.
You know,
Yeah, that's
I think the Pope would have a chance in this contest.
Yeah.
You know what I keep thinking is, where's Sharo?
Yeah.
Where is Sharo? Huh?
Am I dating
Well, you know
myself?
what?
You know.
These costumes remind me that Mardi Gras is coming. It's coming very soon, and you will soon be treated to costumes and outfits from Carnival in Brazil. So enjoy that one when it shows up on the internet, fellas.
Actually, I've been in Rio de Janeiro roughly around that time frame. It's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
majestic.
Take bronze up. Get all your sparkly clothes covering your bare essentials.
Mm-hmm.
Go samba. Join a samba school.
All right, let's do a quick round of comments here, just to remind everybody how we do things here. If you're watching live, you can comment on Twitter, Friday Night Hangout hashtag, YouTube, Google Plus. We have the replay after we're all done. You can watch this afterwards. And we have the audio podcast, which will come out usually on Sunday. So you can listen to that first thing Monday morning. And I gotta say, watching the replay or listening to the podcast is as entertaining. I tend to listen to the show on podcast afterwards. It's pretty good stuff. Let's start with Leo. Leo, on avoiding chores, what do we got?
Okay, Trudy's got a couple more comments here. She says, no desire for Vegas from either of us here, Krista.
Mm-hmm.
And she's apparently hitting the booze pretty hard tonight because she's on to her next beer. She says, ready to crack a honey off the grid red lager.
Ooh.
Oh, girl.
That
Sounds awesome.
You go, girl.
That's great. Twitter. Krista, what do we got? We must have some stuff.
Twitter is disappointingly quiet right now. So.
Are you sure?
Well, I can only see the hashtag. So if there's.
Oh. Well, I see something here. Fred Bahali was saying here, wondering what the conversation would be if Jim had a third fog burner tonight.
It would be. This would be Jim.
I say, I will cut you. I
He'd be
will
gone.
cut you.
No, it would be
gonna
a
show you
normal.
guys
KG would be licking your face. That's
I'm
all
gonna
I can
fix
say.
the window right
On the
now.
floor.
It would be a normal Tuesday night.
That's why Jim's hiding in the corner, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, that's why she knows when the hangout starts. She goes upstairs. She packs up the kid, the dog. Okay, everybody going upstairs because
That's right.
it's loud.
Daddy's gonna. There's gonna be bad words in the kitchen.
Husker Mole was saying here that Game of Thrones hockey edition for the costume.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's next here? Dan, what we got on the YouTube?
We got two more comments. We got one from Shane Riley saying cheers.
Yes.
And from Cross1007 who's saying the broadcast is a black screen.
No, it is not, because I just checked the comments section there a few minutes ago. So you're having problems, sir, on your end, not ours.
Okay.
Just try reloading.
Oh, challenge accepted.
Wait, Carrie? You're going to be in Galveston right before Mardi Gras?
Yes.
Are you going on a cruise out of Galveston?
Yes.
Ah, that sounds awesome. That time of year, that's going to be fun.
It should be fun.
It will be
I
fun.
am correct.
You will have fun. That was Krista was saying. You're gonna have some fun, Carrie.
You gonna have some fun, Carrie?
Yes.
This sounds like a front-page challenge. Yes.
Yeah.
I am having fun.
Yes.
All right.
Grenada for Mardi Gras.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's-
great.
yeah.
That should be nice.
That will be fun.
All right, it is time, people, for the Cards Against Humanity bit.
I'm afraid. Sorry, Mom, in advance.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Before you go on to the Cards Against Humanity,
Yes.
I think I started another quick segment of bad products. I think the last time I introduced the world to the Belfie. I've got another one to show
Oh,
up.
yeah. This is your fault, Dan.
Yeah, I've got another one I want to show up to the world. So,
All right.
it's called Shittens. So if you find
Hey, that'd be great for camping.
Yeah, exactly.
if you
Because
find
I'll tell you,
wiping-
leaves, crumpled up leaves, It's a catastrophe. That's all I have to say.
If you find wiping your ass is too difficult with, regular toilet paper, and you find that you're just not getting enough coverage for your hand, Shittens is here to help you.
All I can say, Dan, is I'm relieved that it's not an actual kitten, because that would be disturbing.
What are you eating if you need a shitten?
Hey, because poop is gross, you got to protect your hands.
You know what? Just get somebody to pressure wash you. I don't know.
so Shittens is my product of the week. So go ahead. Wrap up your Amazon Prime.
It looks like an oven mitt. Looks like an oven mitt. Oh,
I just like the face that's on the Shittens, the Shitten mug. He's seen some shit. Look at that face.
But you know what? He looks happy, and he
knows what's coming, and he's resigned to his fate. That's all.
He is resigned to his fate. He has surrendered to it, and I appreciate that.
Hey, Mr. Doots knows.
Yeah, he knows. So that's my product of the week, Shittens.
I'm ordering it right now, Dan.
You know what? I am completely on board with this becoming a regular feature, though I have to say, Dan, if you haven't heard already, SkyMall has filed for bankruptcy, which means we're going to have a limited supply of these wackadoo products to choose from.
There will never be a limited supply. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you, eBay.
Dan, what internet do you go on at all?
Sorry, what?
What internet do you go on at all?
It's called the dark web. You pay a little bit more for Eastlink for it.
What do you do on the internet?
What do you do on the internet, Dan?
Dan's taking an excavator to his computer tomorrow.
I ain't gonna know until she gets home.
I challenge Keith to come up with the next innovative product for next week's innovative product segment.
Yeah. So
challenge accepted.
Just to hop back to the comments for a second, Michelle McCann raised, and I second, a headstone that says, "Fuck you, bitches," and I will commission one of those from Keith Elliott Stone.
KeithElliottStone.com.
KeithElliottStone.com. You can block out the UCK part, but that's if I have a headstone. That's what I want to say.
Go big or stay home, man. Stay home.
But I want you to do that for me because you're a friend, and I know you'll do it right. And I want
mine to say, "Oh shit," just all capitals.
Or like, what fresh hell is this? And it'll be me just laying in the ground for all eternity.
We're gonna do Cards Against Humanity. If you don't have your cards printed out, or you have your deck of cards,
I feel filthy already.
You can play around with the PDF. Just use a random white page. For those, Dan has the deck, so he's gonna pick the black cards.
You want me to pick the black card first?
Yeah,
I've got a black card. I'll pick it.
Okay, so whoever doesn't have the deck, whoever people can randomly choose a black card for them. So we'll do it that way. We'll change from last time. So we're going to start with Dan. So the order will be Dan, Keith, Carrie, Krista, Lee, and Mike.
So I just randomly pick a black card. Is that it?
No, I'm going to do the black card, and then you give me the correct answer.
Yeah, Dan's going to be picking. Dan's will be picking out the black cards.
Okay, I get you. Yep, sorry. Yep.
And we just make sure that we have 10 white cards. If you're following with the PDF file, just pick a random page and just play off that page.
Okay, so this one's going to be a pick 2, guys.
All right.
Pick 2.
Right.
2 cards.
CTV presents Blank, the story of blank. Blank, the story of blank. You can tell when you get the singularity when all the laughter comes.
I can't. You know what? I can't even blame the fog burner. I'm so sorry, internet.
Okay, so Jim, there you go. You got your CTV presents Blank, the story of blank. Take her.
All right. The story of Justin Bieber growing a pair.
Justin Bieber, the story of growing a pair.
The story of growing a pair.
Keith, what you got?
CTV presents My Vagina, the story of not wearing pants.
Carrie.
Unfathomable.
Oh,
Oh no!
Justin Bieber.
okay.
Justin Bieber.
Hold up the first one.
The first one,
Yeah.
unfathomable stupidity.
Well played.
Good. Krista.
CTV presents Friends with Benefits, the story of holding down a child and farting all over him.
All right, Lee, what do we got?
CTV presents Running Out of Semen, the story of Nickelback.
Lee, they will never run out of semen. That's awesome.
This is what you remind me.
All right, Mike.
Oh,
Mike,
man.
bring her home, Mike.
CTV presents a Super Soaker full of cat pee and waking up half naked in a Denny's parking lot.
My summer vacation.
Oh, good stuff. All right, folks. If you're playing along, you can send us your white cards on the Friday Night Hangout hashtag, and we'll be checking them out here on Twitter. Otherwise, we're going to proceed to the next round. Dan's going to pick the black card again, and we're just going to pick some white cards.
Oh, you want me to do the black cards? All right.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what? I'm still laughing at Lee's Nickelback one from the last one.
Here we go. What
Here we go.
will I bring back in time to convince people that I am a powerful wizard? So what will I bring back in time to convince people that I am a powerful wizard?
I am the powerful wizard.
All right, I got one.
All right, Jim.
All right, $1 trillion.
Ooh.
Keith, what you got?
Well, you know, if I'm going to go back and impress the shit out of them, 50,000 bolts straight to the nipples.
Carrie.
Carrie. Oh, I gotta pick one.
Yeah.
My power is a bucket of fish heads.
Dan, what was the card again, Dan?
Oh, the card is, if I have to go back, what was it? What will I bring back in time to convince people that I am a powerful wizard?
Krista.
I would bring a fleshlight.
And the funny part is that the
That
sex
got
show,
exist, man.
and the funny part, the sex show's in Halifax this weekend too. So,
Yep.
yeah. At the
You
Kennard
know.
Center. It was on the radio. It was on the radio.
Yeah.
You've been on the
Yeah,
same
it
internet
was.
as Dan.
Kennard Center's down by Garrison Brewing.
Where do you think I got the fog burner from?
Yeah, that's right. I'm just putting two and two together because I am very
By the way,
smart.
Jim, are you getting a request from Lori? Lori's trying to join in.
Yeah, Laura's trying to join in.
You mean there's different channels of internet? Is there different channels of internet?
Yeah, the
Back
dark,
alleys, under garbage can, you know, that's, you know.
the dark web. That's how you get shittins.
Lee, what do you got?
It's kind of obvious, but being a motherfucking sorcerer.
Oh, shit. Lee's on fire tonight, that's all I have to say.
Mike, what do you got?
The cool, refreshing taste of Pepsi.
Would you set up the booth, though, for the Pepsi taste test?
He could bring them Pepsi Clear as well.
Yeah.
They could-
And leave it there.
You're at junior wizard status now.
Thanks, Gary.
All right. Well, we'll give Dan a chance to choose some white cards.
Oh, I've
Krista,
got a black card.
all right. What do you got, Christopher? The black card, and we'll give a chance for Dan to pick some white cards.
All right. When I am Prime Minister of Canada, I will create the Department of blank.
Mm. So many choices.
Yeah.
When
Why
I
does
am
the
Prime
rapture
Minister,
always come up in my choices here?
I am Prime Minister of
Shuffle the
Canada.
deck more.
If it's helpful, you could make it if I actually were Prime Minister of Canada and not any of those other chuckleheads that seem to think that they can do the job.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, that's right. If it's me and not like those wankers, then
Oh, that's a funny term.
All right. Well, I'll start off again. I got one here, which is the Department of Crippling Debt.
Ooh.
oh, that
We
one
already
hurts.
have that, don't we?
That hurts because it's true.
Yeah, because it's true. Dan, what did you got?
Well, if I became Prime Minister, I would definitely come up with a department of an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours.
Keith.
And the Department of Poor Life Choices.
I'll need a minister for that department.
Carrie, what you got?
I just pulled this one off the top of the pile.
Hey, you know what? That
Although Prime Minister
is
Cannon, I would
so Canadian.
Lumberjack.
Actually,
You've had all those lumbersexual inquiries recently. So.
or hipster. That could be very hipster.
No, it's lumbersexual. It's going to be the new thing.
Portlandia.
Lumbersexual.
Lee,
Well,
what
I'm
you
a
got?
lumberjack and I'm okay.
It would be the Department of Not Reciprocating Oral Sex.
Oh.
Oh, that department's going to be jettisoned from government. It's going to be set to
The government will fail.
That's called the
it's gonna be
one-way
set adrift on a
diode.
northern ice flow. If we ever have
I'm just
another
drinking my
female prime
beer.
minister, that will not stand.
The one-way diode.
Mike, what you got?
The Department of Hope.
Ah,
Wishful
That's all warm and fuzzy.
that's Obama.
Yeah. All right, folks, if you are watching and you're thinking, hey, I got my Cards Against Humanity too, how can I play? Friday Night Hangout hashtag on Twitter. Let's move on to the next round, which is 1, 2, 3. Who has the black card they want to dole out?
Let's see here.
Let's try Lee. Lee might have a black card to dole out.
Okay, here's one. During
All right.
sex, I like to think about.
During sex, I would like to think about. I got so many choices on this page.
I know. I've got like a table full of choices.
Like,
God damn.
well, read your card again, Lee.
During sex, I like to think about blank.
Powerful thighs.
Powerful thoughts.
Ooh.
Dan, what are you thinking about?
Well, when I'm having sex, I like to think about sex with Patrick Stewart.
Come on.
Engage, number one.
Yes.
Keith.
Make it so, number one.
Well, this is kind of obvious, but it was right there. The clitoris, Jim.
It's pronounced clitoris. Hello? We do not stress the syllables.
Oh, I do.
Carrie, what you got?
The cool and refreshing taste of Pepsi. Just because I didn't like throwing a virgin into a volcano.
Carrie, what you got? Krista, what you got?
I have burning down the White House.
Ooh.
And that is a ploy to get the Secret Service to show up at my house. Wink!
I thought that was like angry sex or something.
Yeah, that's some like
That's a
1812.
Canadian thing.
No,
More of
that
1812
is
sex right there.
incredibly strategic sex.
Strategic. Mike, what you got?
Well, obviously, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
It's timely.
Oh, yeah, it is timely. Oh, man. All right. Jesus.
God damn it, I'm in the missionary position again.
Sorry, subscribers. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
All right, we'll get Dan to pick another one.
Oh, I'm gonna pick one more. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's a pity that kids these days are all getting involved with blank. It's a pity that kids these days are all getting involved with blank.
They're getting all involved with the invisible hand.
Ooh. Of Gad. What do you got, Keith?
The KKK.
Ooh.
Carrie, what you got?
Pass.
Oh.
Krista. What you got, Krista?
The Milkman.
The milk.
Ooh. I don't think kids would know about the Milkman.
Three dicks at the same time.
That's called the Holy Trinity.
Mike, what we got?
Sorry, too soon?
The Underground Railroad.
That's also called the Holy Trinity. How did you know?
Oh, man. All right. That's it.
I got
Okay, what you got? What you got?
Expecting a burp, what?
What? No, hold it.
Expecting a burp and vomiting on the
On
floor.
the floor. My God,
Wow.
Carrie. Jesus. All right. That is it for the Cards Against Humanity bit.
Oh, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely it. We're done with this.
There's nowhere to go from there.
Lord.
So Lori's not able to join us on the call, but she is on the Twitter, and she is drinking she's drinking a stout from Sri Lanka.
Did not know they made a stout.
A Sri Lanka Stout?
Yeah.
Is that one of those tongue twisters that I've heard
Sri
about?
Lankan stout.
Sri Lanka Stout.
That's too bad. All right, so let's. Last thing we have here is the Wayback Machine and the podcast.
I'm remiss I did not get to use this one.
Oh, that's evil.
1989 is our Wayback Machine. This is where we think back in time. And if you're watching on Twitter, I tweeted a picture from the Hangout with Milli Vanilli. 1989 was a big year for those two guys.
Girl, you know it's true.
You know it's true.
And yeah.
That's it. Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby.
And Batman was a big movie that year.
Yeah. It was, Neil Young's comeback album, Freedom, was in 1989.
Big year.
Wow. Is that wow?
It's the end of Yugo as a brand of cars.
I kind of missed that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's $3,000, $600, whatever. You're never getting back.
Guys, the first time I ever saw somebody with a cell phone, they were driving a Yugo. They had a brick driving a Yugo. The phone
The
was
cell phone-
in the car.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would have.
The cell was taking up the passenger seat. Wow.
The first Game Boy came out.
In 89.
Yeah, Nintendo began selling the Game Boy.
Oh wow! Really? That long
Yeah.
ago? Wow.
Hmm.
That was one of their most longest running systems too.
Yep. And the first release of Microsoft Office, which also began the end of times.
You had like Back to the Future 2, Indiana Jones 3.
Oh, wow.
It was a good year for movies, I think, for us kids back in the day.
Popular musician called Duran Duran. Ah, yes.
They were very popular.
They're the bomb.
They were the bomb.
Yeah.
TV shows. The Equalizer was just finishing its run.
Oh.
I watched the movie with Denzel.
Not so good.
Not so good. Not so good. Not so good.
No.
It was all right, but not so good. The TV show was actually better.
He was very superhero-ish in that movie. Like it's like he was always like 27 steps ahead of everyone. And he was everywhere. It was very cartoonish.
Yeah.
How did he pull off being an old British white man?
Pretty good. It's
pretty good. Yeah, very good. He just stayed himself, and people thought, oh, he's totally a British old white dude.
He's got
Here's a great movie, Roadhouse, with Patrick Swayze.
Oh my God, Roadhouse.
Wow.
Wow.
R.I.P. Patrick Swayze. You were amazing.
He was pretty good.
Toyota launches Lexus.
Really? 89? Wow.
89. Oh God.
Oh, the shooting in Montreal of the 14 women students.
Oh, the Polytechnic.
Oh shit! Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Peter McKay made a great point. You know, we may never know unless you read his manifesto that everybody knows why he did it.
Yeah.
Way to go, Peter.
The Exxon Valdez spill in Alaska.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, the Exxon Valdez spill happened that year. Wow.
Ted Bundy was executed in Florida.
Ted Bundy executed. Wow, yeah.
You know, I remember watching the coverage of that, not watching the execution, but watching the coverage of it on CNN and thinking, like, this is, like, pretty fucked up.
I remember just watching the TV movie with whoever it was, the pretty boy staying elsewhere. I can't remember who it was.
I did watch that TV movie because I did not know a lot about Ted Bundy before that.
Ooh.
Berlin Wall and Tiananmen Square.
Yep.
Berlin Wall fell in, but it started.
Yeah.
Really, like.
But Tiananmen Square happened.
Tiananmen Square, yeah. That was another thing I watched on TV, and I was like, what is even happening?
Here's one for you, Jim. The first of the 24 satellites for GPS were put into orbit.
Yep.
GPS controls everything. Without it, our phones would be useless.
The end of apartheid? South Africa.
Really? In 89?
Yep. South Africa started the mental apartheid.
A lot of stuff happened in 89. I graduated high school in 89.
You did?
That was on this website I looked at.
I thought we were closer to the same age, Jim. I didn't realize you were that much older than me.
No, you're older. I believe. No.
You're slightly more older.
No,
and it was also you graduated from high school in 1989. You're older.
Okay, we're gonna have to.
Famous voice actor Mel Blanc from all the Looney Tunes cartoons. Such died.
Seinfeld premiered.
Wow.
Seinfeld
Makes me feel old.
Culturally is old.
I remember it. That was a summer replacement. That was crazy.
89, 99.
The movie When Harry Met Sally came out.
That's awesome.
Also, Sir Laurence Olivier died. Excellent actor.
Yeah.
Was that long ago?
That was a big, 89 was a big year.
Yeah.
That's a big year.
Huge year.
Oh, you can get the Disney Snow Cone Castle that year, too.
And what was that shaped like?
I was going to say, what's Dan going to do this?
Well, here, I'll show you. Funny enough you should say at that. There you go.
I spent 6 months in the Arctic Circle.
6 months in frost, permafrost.
Yeah, and the Coast Guard ship Franklin.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So that's enough of Wayback Machine 89. Oh, reminisce.
So, subtitle, we're old.
We are definitely old.
But Jim's definitely older than me.
No. I am sure.
I knew that was coming for some
older
reason.
than
I knew that.
No. I am the baby of the group. Let's move on to the podcast review. This is where if you have a podcast or a TV show or Netflix or whatever you want to pump out or pimp out, promote. This is your chance here. I don't have anything new other than there's a lot of new podcasts we've been suggesting the last couple of weeks. I've been listening to Love, Death, Sex. I think Krista.
Death, Sex, and Money. NPR.
Suggested that. The other one that she suggested was the Invisibilia.
Invisibilia? Oh my God! Did you listen to the first one?
No. I'm still there. Now I am a big fan of Curious City. This is questions about Chicago, and they're pulling out stuff from the archives. Curious City, and Chicago is a very interesting city, and this is a good podcast to listen to.
You wouldn't know Chicago is interesting before listening to this, or I wouldn't, basically.
Unless you watch The Untouchables, you know.
I don't know. Like Rahm Emanuel is the mayor of Chicago, and he's like a pretty interesting guy. Like I think Chicago is probably just as interesting as New York as far as history.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How they have a way of doing things there.
Oh yeah,
Chicago way.
The Chicago way.
All right, Mike.
Their pizzas are so dense.
Mike, what you got? Do you got anything you want to promote?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Lee, what do you got? Got anything?
Well, I guess if you're a fan of sort of old time wrestling, when wrestling was still good, pro wrestling was still good.
Coco Beware.
The Jim Cornette Experience. Excellent podcast.
Oh, MLW, RWR? You listen to those?
Yeah. That's for the old time fans like me who hate current pro wrestling and want to reminisce about the old stars and back when wrestling was good.
Okay. Krista, what you got?
I'm going to make a second pitch for Invisibilia, even though I've only listened to the first of 2 episodes. The first episode was kind of... I don't want to overstate it by saying it was mind-blowing, but holy shit, it was fascinating. It's all about the thoughts that you kind of come up with and how those motivate you to do things and whether that can be controlled and if there's anything you can do about it. It's fantastic. Invisibilia is an NPR podcast. If you like Radiolab and This American Life, there are people from both of those programs that are working on it, and it's really interesting.
All right, good stuff. Carrie, you got anything?
No.
Nope.
No. Right.
Nope.
No.
Keith.
Same as last time. You know, like.
Just in case.
A podcast I listen to off and on. It's called Say What Podcast. It's 3 guys out of Portland, Maine, actually, and they just they shoot the shit on current events, odd news. They have trivia. They have listener mail. It's kind of a little bit like what we do. But, you know, they're popular.
We don't get listener mail though.
We're popular. We got some
I'm
numbers.
digging you, Jim.
We got numbers.
If people want to write into us with their problems and then we give them opinions about it, I am totally on board for that.
Totally.
They have to sign a waiver.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Dan,
Write it up.
I listen to a lot of the podcasts as part of the 5x5 sort of podcast domain, and the one that I just started listening to is called the Internet Outrage Machine. So you have about 4 guys that get together, they bring up topics of outrage, and they discuss out of 100 how outrageous it actually is. So.
God damn it. You know what? I am pissed about this because Lori and I have been talking about doing our own podcast about the exact same thing.
Too late! Bring it to
late.
Now I am pissed because somebody else is doing it.
Yeah, so
Ours will
internet
probably be
outrage
better.
machine.
Ah,
Sorry, Krista. Too slow.
so disappointed.
And with that, kids, let's close this. Thank you, everybody, for watching on the podcast. We'll do this every Friday. We're gonna do a cold cut. Krista, what's our saying for the night? I'd like to thank the panel first. Thank you, panel. Great panel. Great comments from everybody watching.
Good meeting.
Good meeting.
Actually, before you go, we got some more comments on YouTube. Just
What?
Yeah.
We got comments. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
Not
got
quite finished meeting.
Yeah, just a quick one. PA Brew News.
Yes.
My friend
Got both a
Paul.
bunch of them. Yeah. What? I made it to this insanity before it ended. Wow. Look, it's Lee the King of BrewTube.
The king.
Yeah.
The king.
Yeah. Old, very old indeed, my friends. And
I wish I could have put a little crown on him right now.
Chicago and New York, they all suck in their own way.
Ooh. Do we have any other comments from?
We got some more from Arthur Donald saying, well, the day after you are sober, Jim, so you get more out of the podcast. So that's probably going back to you re-listen to the podcast. And Dan, are you shitting me? Are you shitting
No.
And Shane Riley is actually, haha, I'm on my son's account. Should be John in Kingston or John in Mississauga or John Riley. Cheers. And that's
Good
it
stuff,
for
John.
YouTube.
All right. Lots of great comments. A lot of good stuff. A lot of people are watching tonight here, so I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Thank to the panel. Unless you got any other comments that you saw, you're seeing, you want to blurt out, or I think we're good for tonight.
Apparently,
I think we're
Christina Elliott is making things very difficult for Keith Elliott tonight. So
Keith is
Well,
keeping his head.
that's a story of my life. Don't even get me started.
I should have kept the camera. I could have kept the camera on Keith so we could see Krista's reflection on the window behind Keith there. So maybe we could have picked something up there. Oh well, we'll get that. We'll get that next time. We'll get
I'll
it for
take
next
pictures
time.
next time and post them while I'm here.
All right, thank you, panel. It was a great show. The podcast will be up on Sunday.
Thank you, Jim.
Krista.
Thank
Great
you.
meeting.
good meeting.
Good meeting. We'll talk to you
Good
guys
meeting.
next time.
Good hangout.
Angela the weapons.